I'm delighted to welcome our first panel of the day. We have three people joining us today, actually, I believe. First, I'm delighted to welcome Ramith, who is our language ambassador for Sinhala and a visiting scientist at MIT. Ramith is joined by Jalina, one of the Sinhala contributors and a member of the Rotaract Club of the University of Moratuwa. And then also today we have Murat, our language ambassador for Kyrgyz and a software engineer, founder of Dev Kurulate, the first IT conference held in Kyrgyz. So we'll just get a moment to take our slides down and welcome all our panelists to the screen. Thank you so much for joining today. I think as we're waiting for the slides to come down and everyone to come forward, you can just unmute yourselves and we'll start with the first question I have for you, which would be, it'd be great to hear about the communities you worked with on Aya and how you got connected. Ramith, maybe I'll ask you to go ahead first.
Yeah. So Madeline, I just completed my undergrad. So the communities I reached mostly were somewhat similar to my age group. So friends, immediate friends whom I reached out through WhatsApp. Then again, I realized that since we are sort of moving to the industry and maybe undergraduates might be more helpful in this regard. So in Sinhala community, I think the undergraduate community and maybe people just who completed undergrad joined with us in terms of helping. Yeah.
Excellent. And Jalina, you're a part of this community that Ramith worked with. How did you get connected originally?
Yeah, I'm a member of Rotary Club of University of Porto. So one day, my friend and one of my batchmates asked, "There's a project called Aya, and do you like to work with that project?" So I said yes, and he introduced me, Mr. Ramith, to me. So that's how I connected to this project, and I am one of the co-chairpersons of this project in our club. So that's it for now.
Excellent. And then representing a different community, we've got Murat with us today. Murat, can you tell us about the Kyrgyz group and how you got connected with everyone?
Hey, I'm sorry, I got disconnected. Yeah, so I heard about Aya project in September, I guess, and started recruiting my friends. And so I turned to a friend of mine who is very active on social networks and who is also a software developer. So who switched career from so he was teacher of Kyrgyz language and programming recently, and he had a network of teachers, Kyrgyz language teachers, and so his huge followers base just came and started contributing, and that was really, a turning point. And it happened, I guess, by the end of October, or maybe like by mid of October. So if we had more time, I think we would be, more active.
No, that's great. Shivalika was talking about this earlier. Our Kyrgyz group was late to join Aya, but boy, did you come in force. So glad to have your community join us. Excellent. So I think it would be good for everyone who's tuning in to kind of get a sense of the context of where you're all coming from. Maybe you could comment on the current status of NLP or linguistic studies in general in your communities. Murat, maybe you could begin and tell us what's happening in Kyrgyz NLP or linguistic studies.
Yeah, so in Kyrgyzstan, when it comes to language, it is more about, like studying poetry and, writing and all the stuff. But when it comes to linguistics and computational linguistics, it's in its infancy, and we just started to explore this case. And, all the hype around large language models really helped fueled interest. And so I can see that more people are getting interested in this field. And So, and I'm really hopeful that this event, the AYA project's launch will make it more interesting, more attractive to broader audience. And as far as I know, AYA is the only open source language model that supports Kyrgyz language, and that's a huge thing.
Right on. What an honor that we can be helping to establish the space. And I hope, like you say, that this does help to fuel some interest in NLP going forward. How about in Sinhala? Ramith or Jalina, do either or one of you want to comment on this?
Yeah, so if we just take a step back from like large language models, I think there's definitely a lot of research happening in Sinhala NLP, like embedding sentiment analysis, different tokenizers, and so on. But then again, I think I was reading one of the review papers on Sinhala NLP a bit during the past month. So one of the things researchers have highlighted is that there's not much open sharing of data sets or the methods going on. So I think, so through AYA, and since we are open sourcing all the translations and human curated data, this will be definitely a lot helpful who want to like maybe fine tune AYA 101 on many other data sets. So, and even after like gathering people in this endeavor, I think lots of people were like mainly undergraduates. So they were pretty interested in doing their final year projects on Sinhala NLP. And yeah, so I think the limitation side, there's been not much open collaboration or open sourcing of methods. So I think hopefully it'll change in the future. I think we are getting there.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think this is a key distinction you're making, Ramith, is sometimes the data is there, but whether it's open and available might be a whole different issue. Do you feel the same thing in Kyrgyz, Murat?
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I wanted to mention this, like why I is very important turning point. I think this is the first time when like grassroots movements were involved. I mean, before that, only like small, maybe some privileged groups of people were involved in contribution to large language models and NLP. But in this case, so they were inside a bubble and inside an echo chamber, and as I mentioned before during our conversations, so for example, tokenizer, the very popular tokenizer, doesn't support, for example, 3 Kyrgyz uppercase letters. And if we were like invited, maybe involved in development of these tokenizers, we would definitely say that, hey guys, there's something wrong with this thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a great point. When we're working cross languages, there are unique challenges that are impossible to predict until we have people from those communities involved in the work itself. Maybe it's a good time to kind of transition and talk about that. What challenges came up while working on this project, either anticipated or perhaps unanticipated? Jalina, do you have anything from your perspective as a contributor?
Yeah, when we work on these projects, I mentioned earlier, I was one of co-chairpersons in this project, so I had to coordinate all the members, and I had to look at all the things. So when the project going, I had my semester final exam, so that was a bit challenging to do the project and also my studies there during the project time. So, and also thought of some send some flyers and videos to inform our students in the university, and we had big challenges that because we had not much video editors because they have also studies to do, and that's a problem. So that was the most challenge that I have from my side.
I think this was something felt across the IA teams when doing open science. It's tricky to balance multiple commitments at once.
Yeah.
Ramith, how did you feel this as a coordinator for the Sinhala team?
Yeah, so definitely, I think over the like 6 month period, that's where like where the contribution pace was getting a little bit lower. So I think one of the things I admire about like all the language ambassadors and the core team at IIS that sometimes they also they also have like maybe technical work as well. I mean, within the I project, but they also contribute to the leaderboard. So seeing others on the leaderboard, on the daily leaderboard, was definitely inspiring. So even though sometimes we had a lot of commitments, we just contributed even a bit, seeing each other contributing. So yeah, so I think there was definitely that inspiration factor there. Yeah, so I think another challenge was even though contributors join, maybe they might not stay for long. So it could be due to they're not familiar with the platform, Discord, maybe that could be a reason. But then again, we had another separate parallel effort on WhatsApp as well. So I think, yeah, so through these efforts, we were able to sort of keep giving out constant updates on what's happening and whether we are lacking behind on our goals.
Ramith, I love that you brought up the leaderboard, and it's great to hear that this was a tool that helped to motivate people. What else? How are you motivating your community to, as you say, not just join but stay engaged? What strategies did you employ?
Yeah, so Madeline, I think one of the first things I did was I created like a 10-minute video sort of illustrating why this effort is needed. So I think in that regard, so in that like 10-minute video, I just like freeform, I just screenshot and jotted some points, and I just mentioned that what are we lacking in terms of single language, in terms of open source projects going on. So I think that video definitely helped people to get in line with our mission. So sometimes when we like say that we are doing this effort, it's very hard to get the context why we are doing it. So yeah, I think that was one of the key things I started off. Yeah, then again, constantly we made these graphs showing how are we progressing, what's the goal, and how much of daily contributions do we need to get to that goal. Those sort of updates were definitely helpful in keeping everyone motivated.
Those graphs were amazing. I remember tuning in, and that helped me get invested in the Sinhala climb. Those were great. Murat, how about you? How are you engaging your community of Kyrgyz contributors and helping to make sure they had all the information they needed?
So we had a Telegram group, and we we were talking to each other like I think we were very active. We were very active, and there were some natural leaders who were driving, who were asking people to contribute at least, I don't know, like a couple of sentences per day. And also what helped was that I was asked to organize a kind of a Zoom call with people who were really interested in NLP in general and in the project. So I organized that, and I told about, I just screen shared. I showed them how like GPT-4 was working, and it was answering questions in Kyrgyz. And I said, okay, so guys, this one is paid one, and we want diversity. If, for example, in 5 years, OpenAI or other companies will be gone, we will not be able to use such kind of tools. So we need open source one. So I explained why it was very important to do such kind of open science projects. And I think that was very like one of the biggest contributors to the fact that people got really interested and filled up.
That's great to hear. Yeah, it sounds like this value of open science and access really helped to motivate your community. I guess what I'm curious about as well is now we've got the data set, the model, all those things we were working towards, we were graphing, Ramith, they've come to be. Are there other less tangible benefits that have come out of Aya, perhaps in your community connections or other things that have come out of this work? Jalina, anything you're experiencing?
Yeah, this in my life, this is one of the biggest projects that I have done in my university life. So it was a great experience to me because there are many students joined us for this project, and from different faculties, different years, and we worked as a team for the complete data set. And actually, it was a great experience to me, and we got to know each other. So that was the benefit from my side.
I'm so glad to hear that. How about you, Ramith? What did you observe?
Yeah, definitely the networking part was like one of the key things. So after the project, I think there was one student who reached out to me over WhatsApp. So apparently, they are just a high school student. So, but since I mean, we all get connected through some passion towards one, maybe a technology or something. So even though they're like a high school student, they also contributed. And now I'm in sort of touch with them. I mean, if they need anything, so I mean, completed my undergrad. So I think apart from the data set that we created, I think we have a good community that's been built up. So definitely, I mean, there are like research scientists from big companies who are Sri Lankans as well on the Discord. So definitely, I mean, if someone were to have any question on doing research in Sinhala NLP, might get that clarified over Discord as well. So definitely, I think in terms of the data sets that we created and the model that we like published on Hugging Face, we gathered a lot of people, and I think that networking would definitely help like fellow Sri Lankans. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. That's great to hear. How about in Kyrgyzstan? The story of your group has been quite beautiful, Murat. What other benefits do you see from your work together with this group?
One of the surprising revelations were like I couldn't even imagine that our people would be very active. I mean, I knew like so in our culture that there's a thing called ashar, which means when we want to build something for our community, we just get together and start doing like helping each other. And you know, this collaboration thing is in our culture, and it turned out to be a very natural thing to, you know, to start contributing to this data set. And that was the first thing. And the second one is like, it was like before this project, I was thinking like I had a mindset as if it was something very far away, not for people, like not for third world people and thing. But I realized that it is really doable. Like technology is here, and the barrier is very low, and we don't have to wait for like American companies or like other huge FANG companies to start doing something. We can start collaborating on data sets ourselves. I mean, we shouldn't wait for like profits.
What a powerful and empowering revelation that you can take matters into your own hands and help to build the technology that you want for your communities. I guess this brings me to a curious question in mind. What's next for each of your communities? You've built up this strong foundation of collaboration. Any potential future collaborations or projects within these spaces? What about your group, Murat?
I think so. So I took part in the you know data set organization, like coding part a little bit. So I got really passionate about it. So, and I want to organize some kind of hackathons where we will be, you know, writing some papers. I don't know, like using, for example, this data set, like the Aya data set or other stuff. So that's one thing for this year. And the second, yeah, I guess we will be doing more NLP stuff. So we'll be popularizing this direction.
That's excellent. Okay, please stay in touch. I look forward to hearing how it all comes together. How about you, Jalina? What's next for the Rotaract Club?
Yeah, as a club, we not much familiar with these kind of big projects. So, I mean, like NLP projects. So we can take this as a start. So for then we can help to like this kind of projects as a club and partner with another organization or people like that. So that's it.
Ramith, anything you're looking forward to as future avenues for pursuit?
Yeah, I think even though my main line of research is not NLP, I think there's a lot of interest from my side as well. So I think in Discord there were like some people discussing how can we fine tune IA 101 on Colab, and yeah, so I think there's definitely interest on that regard. So maybe we can sort of help final year projects, students in Sri Lanka who might not have the GPU power to maybe fine tune. So if we can come up with a nice solid plan how we can collaborate for a couple of months, then that would be really helpful for their open science research. So I believe we'll need to sort of get this to the Sinhala NLP community through maybe a couple of sessions on what's actually included in the dataset and how to use it. So yeah, I think there will be massive possibilities for Sinhala NLP.
Ramith, I'm not sure how much longer you'll be able to say that your research is not in NLP. It sounds like you're here to stay. Magnificent. Okay, maybe to close us out today, it would be great to hear if you have any advice. What else would you like people to know if they're looking to initiate similar community collaborations or build tools for people in their areas? Ramith, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think I'm really inspired by how Cohere for AI actually put this together for the last 1 year. I think community building. So I think that's, if someone were to do some open science project, I would definitely recommend studying how Cohere for AI did this project. I mean, watch the documentary. Yeah. So I think one of the best things to do is sort of go through the Discord and see how they did it. It's pretty inspiring, like how you all managed all the communications, all the people volunteering. So I mean, it's pretty great. So yeah, I think there's a lot of lessons to learn from this collaboration. Yeah.
Ramith, I love that. Just look at what we've done and do it the same way. Jalina, how about you? What advice would you give to others looking to do community collaborations?
Yeah, anyone who interested in like these kind of projects and open science projects, so we are definitely here to help to them, and we are also created a project report how we done the project and how we manage all the things like that. Also, if anyone interested, and they can reach out me and Ramith, and so we are here to help them.
Brilliant. It sounds like the way to do community collaborations is to connect with more communities, get advice and get support. All right, Murat, close us out. What advice would you give?
I'm really hopeful that other large language like NLP AI companies will start doing the same and start collaborating with community of scientists around the world. This is yeah, and I would suggest to start to reach out to universities. I know that young people are more passionate and they have maybe I'm a little bit biased, but they have more time than grown-up people, and I think they'll be very active in contributing. Yeah, and it turns out people around the world really care about their cultures and their languages, and I think they'll be really happy to collaborate with companies like on these kind of projects.
Brilliant. It sounds like the advice is to choose your audiences wisely, target who you reach out to. I appreciate that. Well, Murat, Jalina, Ramith, so nice to chat with you all today. Hey, congrats on the release of Aya. Can you believe it? We're here. Great to chat with you. Thank you.